to make it the 6th first and second for the Williams team in 1992. Mansell then, there he is, and there is the pit. And coming through is Michael Schumacher, who has passed Gerhard Berger. Michael Schumacher is going to finish behind his teammate. There's Berger, he's blown the Honda V12 engine. Mansell wins, Patrese second. The Benettons of Brundle and Schumacher move ahead of McLaren in the Constructors' Championship as Schumacher dramatically takes Berger on the last corner as the Honda engine in the McLaren blows. And Gerhard Berger finishes in 5th position, and Nigel Mansell, now let's see, as he is followed very, very appropriately by Damon Hill, who has just finished his first Grand Prix. Englishman leads on the track there, and Englishman follows in his wheel tracks, and you can see how happy Nigel Mansell is. Now, is Mansell going to stop and offer for the 2nd year in succession a lift to Ayrton Senna? The answer is no, because Ayrton Senna has already gone back. I imagine he wouldn't be too keen on doing it a 2nd year in succession, and he would have thought of that just as I did. Well, the crowd must keep off the course. Doesn't mean to say they'll do it. They are already all over the course in the start and finish position. But Mansell now is savouring this, and justifiably so. I would love to be on the car to pits radio, because Mansell is quite a chatty chap during the race, and there's a constant flow of conversation between him and the pits. And they're seeing now their hero come through. If he gets back to the pits through this lot, I think he will be doing extremely well. What a wonderful sight. This is Nigel's 7th win of 1992. It raises his World Championship points score to 76. His teammate, Riccardo Patrese, by finishing 2nd, gets another 6 points to give him 40. So Nigel now leads the championship by 36 points after race 9 in this 16-race World Championship Series, with the races in Germany in 2 weeks' time, Hungary, Belgium, Italy, Portugal, Japan, and the marvellous wind-up at the end of the season that everybody loves to go to, the Australian Grand Prix at Adelaide. Will he be world champion when the series reaches Australia? Well, there is still a long way to go. He's got a massive lead, but it is not an unbeatable one, although it's certainly looking more and more like it race by race. Since Thursday morning, the crowds have been pouring into Silverstone. This is what they came to see. This is what they have seen. Now, it's going to be very difficult. Get out of it, says the marshal. Clear the car. I just want to give him this Union Jack, mate. Now, this is Club Corner, and when I tell you that Nigel has still got the run-up to Abbey, the Bridge, Priory, Brooklands, the 2 Luffield corners, Woodcote, and the start-finish, I mean, he's just going to have to rev it and try to get through. But I can't see the crowd parting. They're round their idol. They're within touching distance of him. They ought to give a big hand to Damon Hill, that you can see in the centre of your picture in the multicoloured Brabham with its new livery. But now, I say again that the British Grand Prix of 1992, round 9 of the World Championship Series, has been won by Nigel Mansell, 39 seconds ahead of his teammate Riccardo Patrese, with in 3rd position in the Benetton Ford, Martin Brundle, his 3rd place in succession. 3rd in France, 3rd in Britain. Martin Brundle is not on his way back, he's back. And Michael Schumacher in 4th position in the 2nd Benetton Ford. And look at Nigel Mansell now. He'll be boiling hot inside his racing overalls and inside his fireproof underwear, but he won't mind. Gerhard Berger finishes in 5th position, and in 6th position it's Mika Häkkinen. Michele Alboreto 7th, a lap behind. The first 6 all finished after full distance. And if I was Mansell, I would be getting worried. It's the remove the clothing and try and tempt them to run away with it.
If I was Frank Williams, I'd be getting worried about my car too, because I should think that's suffering a lot of damage there, not designed to be climbed all over. And if this is still Club Corner, they're going to have to helicopter him out. And I think one or two policemen aren't going to be a lot of help with this crowd. This is really maybe gone a little bit too far.
James, there's a little problem here that I've just thought of. What about scrutineering? The car has to go into scrutineering as a very sad-looking Ayrton Senna walks in his 6th retirement. Well, he manages to find a smile, but a dreadful come-down for the Brazilian after a magnificent World Championship last year. Now to retire from his 6th race and see his rival pull away from him. Give us a chance, says Nigel. Nigel is always traditionally tired, overtired after a race, and they're not giving him a chance. You can understand how they feel, but I would not at all like to be in Nigel Mansell's position at the moment, because crowds can... Oh, thank heavens for that. He's in the van. Well, I have never ever seen anything quite like this. But James, what about scrutineering? Because that car has got to get back to the Parc Fermé in whole condition. I wouldn't be at all surprised if 1 or 2 bits are missing off it from souvenir hunters, not to say all the pressure that the crowd has exerted on it.
Yes, they certainly won't have done it any good, but at the same time, it was, you know, Nigel has traditionally stopped at Club Corner to chat to the crowd, if you could put it like that there, and he didn't have to do that. But he's been rescued and all is well now. And I don't think the scrutineers are likely to hold it against him if there are 1 or 2 bits missing. They'll just have to do the best they can. But I would suspect that this will be the last year we have a track invasion, because what was, if anything, more serious than, and there is Patrese, and he, I'm sure, is remonstrating about the track invasion that happened just after the start-finish line, as Mansell came over the line, where the crowd broke ranks, and that was serious. The problems that Mansell had at Club Corner are one thing, but for the crowd to come over the track when racing cars are still coming at them at 170 miles an hour, with the drivers not expecting it, is extremely serious, because they race right to the line. If, for example, Senna had still been in the race and he'd been neck and neck right behind Martin Brundle going for the line, as could well have been the case as a race, we could have seen some very nasty consequences, because they were actually on the track at the time and also up at Copse Corner. And I would think that that's the last time the organisers of the British Grand Prix will show a lenient hand to the crowd infiltrating the track. I strongly suspect that in the future they will be tightly controlled and kept behind the fences, and I have to say that the concession that's been given to them, in my opinion, has been abused.
Well, to finish on a high note, I can tell you that Nigel Mansell has, of course, obviously extended his championship lead enormously. He now leads his teammate Riccardo Patrese by 36 points, with Mansell having scored 76 points, Patrese having scored 40. Michael Schumacher is still in 3rd position. Gerhard Berger has moved up from 5th position to 4th. Ayrton Senna has moved down from 4th to 5th, and Martin Brundle has moved up a place from 7th position in the Drivers' Championship to 6th place ahead of Jean Alesi. Williams, of course, with that 1st and 2nd finish, as you look at Martin Brundle driving in after a magnificent drive. His 2nd successive 3rd place, first in France and now a week later in Silverstone. And his drive with that of his teammate, Michael Schumacher, who finished in 4th position, means, as I hypothesised, that the Benetton team have now moved ahead of McLaren by 4 points in the Constructors' Championship, with Ferrari in 4th position, Lotus in 5th place, Martin Brundle in the garage and Parc Ferme area, and the van that is carrying the victorious Nigel Mansell entering the pit lane now. And it will be a very relieved Nigel Mansell who emerges from it. The Silverstone incident vehicle, and if ever I've seen an incident, that was it. Mansell wins, Patrese second, Brundle third, Williams first, Williams second, Renault first, Renault second, Benetton third, Ford engine third. And that's it, there he is. Talking to Charlie Whiting, the FISA scrutineer. Well done, Nigel Mansell. Barry Griffin of Goodyear gives him the traditional winner's hat, and we follow Nigel Mansell into the press office as Riccardo, what a super bloke Riccardo Patrese is, a true Italian gentleman. And he follows Mansell now. Look at the way that this just shows how the adrenaline can give you the charge. I've been up and down those steps for the last 2 days, and I can tell you that they take a bit of climbing. Prince Michael of Kent congratulates Nigel Mansell, and so do the crowd. This is what we saw last year, and we're seeing it again. Nigel Mansell's 7th win out of 9 races. Tears of joy go down Nigel Mansell's face, and there's a break in my voice, I'll tell you. With, for the 2nd week in succession, the same 3 men on the podium. Prince Michael, that's it! That's the winner's trophy. And those 3 men, winner Nigel Mansell, 2nd place Riccardo Patrese, 3rd position Martin Brundle. As Geoffrey Rose, the chairman of the Royal Automobile Club, gives, and that is Mr. Kenneth Clark, who's given Riccardo Patrese his award. And Martin Brundle, so it's 2 Englishmen on the podium for the 2nd week in succession. Mansell wins, Patrese 2nd, Brundle 3rd, Schumacher 4th, Berger 5th, Hakkinen 6th. And just listen to this. Oh, it's champagne time. Take that, Martin Brundle, and you can take that back. Well, this may seem rather childish, but it is an enormous release of tension. If ever I have seen a look of pure, unadulterated joy, that is it. Now, Nigel Mansell, Riccardo Patrese and Martin Brundle go into the press office to give the interviews to the press. And you'll be reading all about it tomorrow. Well, you've seen it here. He stays alone, savouring the moment. Who can blame him? outside. Well, there is the car. They got it back all right, and just a quick look. Both the wing mirrors are there. They're the things that can disappear. Oh, they haven't got it back. I'm sorry. I assumed, looking at it, it was in the pit lane, but it's a club being guarded by the marshals. Because it's their responsibility to get that car back to the Parc Fermé for Charlie Whiting, the FISA scrutineer, and his colleagues to give it the once-over and make sure it's all legal in terms of things like wing height in particular. But I have absolutely no doubt that it will be. Well, this has truly been a British Grand Prix to remember. The second in succession, a victory for Nigel Mansell, and the fourth in his career. He first won in Britain at Brands Hatch when it was the European Grand Prix, but he's won the actual British Grand Prix now 4 times with 2 second places. When he said before the race last week, Silverstone belongs to me, he was not joking. And Tony Jardine is waiting to talk to the winner, Nigel Mansell.
Nigel, what a win. What support. Silverstone has become Mansellstone. You must be absolutely thrilled.
I'll tell you. Oh, yeah. But he used this, and I. Yeah, the only thing was I was worried about getting back to the pits, and I mean, I had to slow down so much because they were blocking the track, and actually ran one person over, and he was a very big man. But we were only going a few miles an hour, but oh, he loved it. But anyway, I hope you're not hurt too bad. You got up and sort of picked me up, so many apologies for that. But the car, we just had to leave the car at club. There was no way through.
Were you in any danger there, being mobbed by the crowd?
Well, we were picked up and thrown about, and it was the marshals and police that rescued me. And I mean, what can you say? I've never experienced that in my whole career anywhere in the world. And I mean, they're fantastic, aren't they? It's just incredible.
And now you've beaten Jackie Stewart's record, 28 wins.
Yeah, I mean, that hasn't sunk in yet. And I mean, Jackie being the tremendous man he is and sportsman, when he sent me that telegram, he said he didn't expect me to be a member of the club too long, but I didn't expect to sort of beat it the next race. And but for me, you know, it's just credit to the team and Renault, of course, who's given us the machinery to be able to achieve this.
Was that a precautionary tyre stop?
Yeah, we planned it, and you know, and then I was able to then sort of choose the pace that I wanted to sort of go. But I mean, I had a few little moments with coming up with people, and they didn't see me. But other than that, it was a great race.
Nigel, I know you won't be drawn on the World Championship, but with continued success like this, you must have the odd sneaky thought that this could be my year. No, not really. I've been in the game too long. I've been in the game too long. I'm glad Ricardo is laughing, but I mean, to be so close like I was in '86 and have it robbed with 16 laps to go, I'm not going to count on anything until it's in the bag. Ricardo, how are you after that big practice crash?
Stiff. I think it was a hard race for me, for sure the hardest race of the season. In fact, I'm quite tired and a bit broken. All my bones are a bit broken. Anyway, I'm really very pleased for Nigel, for myself, and the team, of course, Williams, Renault, another 1-2. I think here again we did a fantastic job, and I think I don't know what to say. Let's hope that we go on like that, and that is marvelous. Another great start from you alongside Nigel at the beginning. Yes, I started well. Nigel maybe had too much wheel spin, I don't know. And then anyway, it was another league today. Congratulations to him. Martin Brundle, back on the rostrum for the second consecutive occasion, equaling your best ever. You must be over the moon.
Yeah, I'm delighted for my family and my supporters over many years. It seemed like old times, scrapping with old Senapod round Silverstone. I really enjoyed it. The car was absolutely fantastic. Not a single problem the whole race. Obviously got held up behind, I think Damien it was, and Ayrton just shot through. But then he failed on the same lap anyway, which I can't say anything other than that I smiled quite a lot, I have to say. Then I just cruised to the finish. I took a gamble to run not so much downforce on the car to keep me fast in a straight line, but that meant my tyres went away a little bit faster than Ayrton, so he was pushing me quite hard, but I didn't buckle under the pressure, and I'm very pleased.
But a great day for British drivers, as you said. Damon Hill finishing as well, so that's good for the sport, isn't it?
It is. I don't know where Johnny finished, but I know he was running fairly high up, fairly on. Early on, I saw his name on Michael Schumacher's pit board. But, you know, it's a great day for British motor racing. They're here, they showed up, and they gave us fantastic support, and thank them.
Nigel, back to you finally. A brilliant win here at the British Grand Prix. It's delighted your millions of fans and your family, no doubt. Celebrations tonight?
Celebrations tonight, and if I'm going to dedicate the most historic win, obviously in my career and in the history of Great Britain in Formula One, I dedicate it to the fans out there. They are just unbelievable.
Nigel, thank you. Well done. Ricardo, Martin.
A lovely tribute from the winner to his adoring public, and incidentally a very generous tribute from Riccardo Patrese to Nigel, who was beaten so conclusively. Well, that's Nigel Mansell's car being towed back to the Parc Fermé, and we have seen for the second time in succession at the new look Silverstone a quite magnificent British Grand Prix for Britain, with Mansell winning, Brundle in third position, Johnny Herbert up there in the points until he unfortunately had to retire. And it means to say that Nigel Mansell, although he's not willing to admit that he's looking more and more like the world champion of 1992, he's certainly looking much more like it to everybody here at Silverstone after a superb British Grand Prix.
And well done, Murray Walker and James Hunt as well. Scenes that have become so familiar but so inspiring. But I don't think British motorsport has ever seen a celebration quite on this scale. It's brought a few problems that need to be confronted, but it's been Mansell's day again, shared by third place Martin Brundle, and Damon Hill finishing 16th, and Johnny Herbert, despite Martin's thoughts on where he might have finished, we all saw that Johnny didn't make it today. But tremendous day for British motorsport.